सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थः ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविंद योगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशंकराचार्यमथास्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सुकृतेऽधिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय मां भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधि साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। ओम परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। ओम समस्त ब्रह्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। ओम श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्य शंकरादि गुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। सर्वेषां गुरूणां देवतानां परब्रह्मणः श्रुतिमातु अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव सिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकं स्मृतेः पुनरुत्थान पुनर्जागरण विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं तत्कृते कंकणबद्ध समस्त साधक भक्त सेवकानां विघ्नशत्रु निर्मूलन शक्ति संपदा साधनावाप्ति द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्य दिग्विजय प्राप्त्यर्थं विश्व शांति कल्याण एकता प्राप्त्यर्थं श्री भाग्य सूक्तस्य पारायणं तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः आद्य शंकराचार्य भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आदौ भाग्य सूक्तस्य पारायणं। May the Lord or Devatas whom we are praying bless us to give the Bhaga, the Bhagya, the wealth, all that is required for us to reach to the truth and all that is required for us to serve Him. With this Sankalpa, with beautiful Shraddha, let us start our chanting of Bhagya Suktam and again our study of the Upanishad. Om Atha Bhagya Suktam Om Om Prataragnim Pratarindragam Havamahe Pratarmitra Varuna Pratarashvina Pratarvagam Poshanam Brahmanaspatim Pratasomamutarudragam Huvema Pratarjitam Bhagamugragam Huvema Vayam Putramaditeryo Vidharta Adraschidyam Manyamanastuраschid Raja Chidyam Bhagam Bhakshetyaha Bhaga Pranetar Bhaga Satyaradho Bhage Mam Dhiyamudavadadannaha Bhaga Pranojana Yago Virashvair Bhaga Pranubhir Pranrubhir Nuvantasyama Utedanim Bhagavantasyamota Prapitva Utamadhye Ahnam Utoditamagavan Suryascha Vayam Devanagam Sumatau Syama Bhaga Eva Bhagavagam अस्तु देवास्तेन वयं भगवन्तः स्याम तन्त्वा भग सर्व इज्जो हवीमि स नो भगपुर एता भवेह समध्वरायोषसो नमन्त दधिक्रावे वशुचये पदाय अर्वाचेनं वसुविदं भगन्नो रथमिवाश्वावाजिन आवहन्तो अश्वावतेर्गोमतीर्नौषासो वीरवते सदमुच्छन्तु भद्राः घृतं दुहाना विश्वत प्रपीना यूयं पात स्वस्तिभिः सदा नः यो मा अग्ने भागिनगं सन्तमथा भागं चिकीर्षते अभागमग्ने तं कुरु मामग्ने भागिनं कुरु ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय आरण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदा ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः येरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं वदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं तैत्तिरेयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचयिनां व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते ॐ अथ शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावेत् तद्वक्तारमावेत् आवेन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अथ चतुर्थोऽनुवाकः यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कदाचनेते तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मान्मनोमयात् अन्योऽन्तर आत्मा विज्ञानमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः तस्य श्रद्धैव शिरः ऋतं दक्षिणपक्षः सत्यमुत्तरपक्षः योग आत्मा महापुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति ॐ शान्तिः 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 Salutations to Parabrahma Tattva, to Shruti Mata, to all our Brahma Vidya Acharyas, Rishis, Muni and Guru. Special salutations to Sri Veda Vyasa Bhagavan, Vaishampayana Rishi, Yagnavalkya Rishi. Most special our pranam salutations to Bhashyakara, Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankara, and salutations wholeheartedly to all our acharyas, all our gurus, Rishi Muni, who are blessing us from many lives, also in this life, with this wisdom. Salutations to our own Swaguru. Upanishad Adhyayanam, now we can understand how much it requires the full attention, full concentration. Then for doing that attention and concentration, how we have to quieten our mind, purify our mind from all the things which are other than this. And then for that the wisdom of living life at the non-spiritual level in such a manner that that life is limited only to that level. Nothing of the residue of that is carried into the mind. Only in this way, when the mind is freed from the vrittis or the impressions, only when the mind is freed from its natural quality of sankalpa vikalpa, that the same mind becoming the buddhi will be able to attentively listen or study the shastras and understanding the meaning of those mantras and the purport that is given there. So, if we truly want to be the real sadhakas, first of all, have we completely become sadhakas in our life, we have to see 100% sadhaka. Other than that, we are only doing our vyavahara and dharma. In me, there is no samsara. Sadhaka samsara difference is sadhaka is he who seeks only the truth. Samsari is he who seeks something or the other in this samsara. So, totally dharma nirvana, and then any service obligation, that much we do in the world. Other than that, if we can really cut off all the expectations from the world, all the natha of the world, for what? For protecting our own mind, for making our own mind qualified with its purity and single pointedness for this study of the Shastras, deeply understanding them. Actually, if with that qualification, if we study Shastra, what is said in Shastra is so crystal clear, so unambiguous, so perfect. There's nothing to be, not known there. There's nothing to be doubted there. There's nothing to be non-practical. It is so spashta because Shastra are the Satyavak of Paramatma only. There's just to, with the qualified intellect, understanding them and abiding in them. If that knowledge is of action, abiding in the action. If there's no action required, just abiding in the truth, abidance in the truth. That much simple through the Shastra, the Tattvanubhuti and the Moksha. But that simple looking Shastra, sadhana and moksha becomes complicated only because of our media or our equipment which we are using in our life. So that equipment's media used for the world or used for spirituality. If you have to use for one from the other, it has to withdraw. Especially if it have to be used for spiritual from the world totally, it has to be so much withdrawn that any given moment is mana is so prashanta, is only contemplating on the shastriya vishayas and also about the tattva vishayaka vishayas. So much that clear, unambiguous understanding through the Shastras of the truth. Always we are feeling in us, Mehsus Karna. Then with that perfected intellect, which has become thorough in the knowledge of Shastra, when we sit on the Dhyana Abhyasa, at the time doing the Vetareka of the Anatma of the Panchakosha, Anvaya of the Parabrahma of Satyam Jnanam Anantam becomes easy, becomes effortless, becomes sure and true. So therefore, from now onwards, we have to mind our antahkarana, mind it in such a way that it is full of the inspiration, full of the enthusiasm, yet full of freedom from any of the traces of even little also the attachment to anything, including our own upadhis, including our own the sense of fear about our own old ages, diseases. Any single thought is enough to come repeatedly and frighten us. While that happens, our intellect stops thinking about Paramatma. To that extent, if we can free ourselves, such person alone can deeply go into Shastriya Jnanam and he will so obviously see what is said in Shastra alone is absolute truth or reality, whether it is regarding sadhana or the siddhi. To such person, doing sadhana and siddhi also is easier because already the antakarana, mainly the mind, is quietened or subdued. Otherwise क्या होता है, in the unquieted and unsubdued mind, Vyavahara is difficult, Samsara is difficult, Shravanam is difficult, Swadhyayam is difficult, understanding is difficult, sticking to the understanding is difficult, accepting the understanding is difficult, then implementing that understanding in the outer world, then contemplation on that truth to eliminate the untruth, the illusion, that ignorance, that illusion, everything become difficult on tasks. Like one scooter, our own vehicle, not good. It is difficult to go to office, to go to market, to go to relatives place, to go to marriage. है ना, कुछ लोग ऐसे ही खटारा गाड़ी रखे रहते हैं, then they suffer in every travel. So too in the house, kitchen सामान खराब ऐसे पुराने हो गए हैं, उनको जूझते रहते हैं उसी से. Is it not? One scooter repaired, all our journeys become better. Few instruments of the kitchen made well, all the cooking aspects become easier. चप्पल को ठीक कर लो तो चलना ठीक हो जाता है, चप्पल या जूता. इन द सेम वे मन को ठीक किया जाए तो व्यवहार इज ग्रेट, धर्म इज ग्रेट, ऑल आध्यात्मिक साधना आर डन इजीली, स्पेशली दिस उपनिषद अध्ययनम इत्यादि. The need of that we should do. That's why to make us achieve that mind only in a all adhyatmika sadhanas of bhakti karma jnana. Hmm. The initial preparatory sadhanas are told of Viveka Vairagya Shamadamadi. There also Abhyasa Vairagyadi. Even there the Yamani Yamadi. Everywhere they are told. So problem for us is what? We are still in samsara seeking something. Therefore, these things doesn't appear to be important. Therefore, we don't take them seriously. The two things of doing these things for quietening the mind. That is why, though out of Purushartha Punya or the Lord's grace, we come to listen to Shastra Ityadi, because of the non-preparedness of the Antakarana, all these blessings given by the Lord are not well used by us in the form of Shastra. So to everywhere. Because of the ego fighting with the boss, such a good job we leave. Because of the ego and selfishness, quarreling with the parents or the brothers, we establish a separate establishment or house. ये क्या है, सब बढ़िया था लेकिन अपना दिमाग ठीक नहीं. Therefore we created issue and we went away. So too the wonderful Shastra Jnana given to us. But we have unprepared, unqualified Antakarana. Therefore it appears to be not clearly understandable or practical or reachable. So therefore a spiritual seeker, आध्यात्मिक साधना परमात्मा जानने का through शास्त्र. As important it is the importance of preparing our own tools, our own equipment, our own faculties, our own अंतःकरण. एंड इन योग शास्त्र तो स्ट्रेट अवे कहते हैं चित्तवृत्ति निरोध स्वरूप अवस्थानम कैवल. देयर इज नो बार्गेन देयर. If you don't do nirodha of the vritti, no swarupa avasthanam, only sarupya, no go, suffer. So to in Vedanta. If adhikarina mashaste falasiddhir visheshatah. Only for the adhikari the falasiddhi will come. If you don't become adhikari, we can never. And adhikari is the one who understood it and protected his antakarana for its shuddha sattva, for its all ekagrata, sukshmata, in whatever the way they are achieved, we have to achieve them. And be in that spiritual adhyanam all the time, mananam chintanam all the time, till not only the truth is understood about the truth as well as the world, but we are becoming deeper and getting abiding in it. Okay, in the beginning, matlab, a lot of effort, little understanding comes, but that also doesn't stay stably, it goes away. Therefore, once we touch the core, we have to try to practice same thing again and again to get stabilized in that. Establishing in that is more important. Okay. Now we are studying our Panchakoshas, and through Panchakosha Viveka, our Atma Tadatmya, we are slowly shifting from the Stula Adi Koshas to Sukshma Adi Koshas. So, when we cross a mountain or a very thin road or very difficult road, how the elders, brother or father or mother, उंगली पकड़कर धीरे एक एक कदम चलवाते. सो टू द श्रुति माता दी गुरु परंपरा धीरे हमको उंगली पकड़कर एक एक कोश से अंदर ले जा रहे हैं. And this explanations given about every kosha, if you are true and sincere, day in and day out, we have to be only in that manana and chintana, as we said the other day, not only to understand everything, every one of them thoroughly, but also understanding their own position in general and their position with regard to me. With regard to me is what? I am only a trustee of those upadis. And being a trustee, I protect them, and also trustee uses all the resources of the trust for the purpose for which the trust is established. So too, the five koshas are established for doing sadhana and knowing the truth. I, the trustee, while maintaining the Panchakosha, do only this thing, no other any type of interaction or relation with them of any identity or tadatmya. Like in any trust, the trustee takes the money from it, it is crime. He is not supposed to do. His only member is your trustee. So here also, whenever we just have the Atma Tadatma with the koshas, that is the beginning of downfall. And Lord, long back, that beginning we made, we have fallen now down to the level of so much Tadatma with the Upadhi. Whatever happens to Upadhi is happening to me. Whatever Upadhi says, that alone is order to me. In that bargain, what is the truth, what is the self, what is the reality? Real self of ours, all that we have even lost only, forgot. So, the importance of all these things when we keep in our mind and then do the sadhana. So, the wonderfully Shruti Mata and Guru, ungli pakadkar le jana kehte hain, they are doing. So, in that process, we have seen Annamaya Kosha made out of Anna Rasamaya. Grows Bhagava Anna Rasamaya. Even if you try to stop, it will not stop, it will go back to the Anna and Anna Rasa. Not only ours, everyone. See, again and again when we think about Annamaya in this way, is not our extreme attachment getting reduced and undue value given getting reduced, then the simple importance whatever is given to it, that much alone remains. That is called as conquering Annamaya. Afterward, इसके बारे में कोई नवारी ना कोई टेंशन ना कुछ होना चाहिए. So too with Pranamaya kosha, so too with Manomaya. So these three koshas we have seen. Now the Vijnanamaya kosha, we have seen last 2 days about what exactly Vijnanamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha is nothing but whatever the Veda mantras that are there in the Manomaya, the Pramana Purvaka, Nischaya Purvaka, Adhyavasaya Lakshana, Artham meaning of those Veda mantras is called as the Vijnanamaya kosha. In that Vijnanamaya kosha only the karta is there. And that karta, with that Vijnanam or the knowledge gained of the Veda mantras, he gets the ideas of what to do, what not to do to get what or what not. He thus how becomes the karta. And be attentive. In the Veda only, both Yajnayagadi Dravyatmaka are told. If this Karta wants those lokas uttama, those sukha bhoga of this world, he should become the Karta of those yajna which are mentioned in the Vedas, of course with the thorough knowledge. A human being succeeds everywhere when he is thorough in his awareness of intellect, inasmuch he extremely fails, or whenever he is failing, the reason is the intellect has not got sufficient information to guide the action. So, the Vijnanamaya Kosha, Jiva, you and I, with a clear understanding of what is to be achieved and how to achieve it through the Yajna Agadi, he will learn it from the Vedas, thoroughly he practice it. So up to this point, we have seen yesterday, I am taking straight away from this Chaturtha Anuvakas, paragraph number 2, uska commentary. Just 1-2 minutes we will see, then the 5 limbs of the Vijnanamaya Kosha we will see. So when I am in Sankalpa Vikalpa, when I am in the Vrittis only of Veda mantras, I am in Manomaya Kosha. But when I am in the meaning of the Veda mantras, because of which I become the Jnata of the Yajnayaga of the Vedas, indicated by Veda, and to obtain those phala, I always conceive the ideas and implement them through Mana, Indriya, and Deha. That whole thing is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. So विज्ञानमय कोश में कर्ता भोक्ता जीव है, विज्ञानमय कोश में वेदों के अर्थ में है, विज्ञानमय कोश में ही because of those meanings of Veda, what to gain, what not to gain, for that what to do, what not to do, that clarity is there. And that is executed through the Sharira with the Prana Shakti as guided by the mind. That mind is in the command of this Vijnanamaya Kosha. There is a system the Lord made for a jiva. There is nothing to think, thought over it, nothing to be worried about it. System itself is like that. Know it and follow it. That's it. So again, as the Anna Prana Manomayas were in our inadvertence and delusion misused. Okay. Then we suffering because of them. So too the Vijnanamaya Kosha also is unnecessarily misused. What is the misuse of Vijnanamaya Kosha? Only one. Not studying Vedas and therefore not understanding what exactly said in Vedas, therefore not taking that knowledge of Veda as authority. This is the first blunder of Vijnanamaya Kosha. Obviously, when that is not done, what else it will do? It will become the slave to the Mana Sankalpa Vikalpa. It will become slave to the Prana Shakti's dynamism. It will become slave to the Annamaya Kosha's laziness. It will become slave to the sense organs, suppose propositions or temptations. Also, it will become misguided by other less or uninformed people of the other world. They are called as Andhenaiva Niyamana Yatanda. That is what is happening now. Again, I am repeating. Vedas or the Smruti Purana Itihasa, which are essence of the Veda only, they should be thoroughly studied. According to that only, the life is to be lived. That is called as staying in healthy Vijnanamaya Kosha. Not studying them, but acting according to vasana or the projection of mind or in the outer world's temptation attraction itself is the entire samsara, is the cause of all bondage. So we have to be very specific and use for that purpose only each of the upadhis, each of the kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha is most important, crucial. So we can put it this way. With Vijnanamaya Kosha, first pursue the truth and realization. Thereafter, as a time pass, let the Vijnanamaya Kosha be used to see the various possibilities that are there in the Maya in the form of understanding this world. Means first know the gold. Thereafter, see how many ways the ornaments can be made out of the gold. Without knowing the gold, only worried about the forms and the names of the ornaments is samsara. You can see about it. Ornaments कब बनाओ लगाओ इधर उधर बट पहले तो उसको सोना है ये समझो truth. In the same way with Vijnanamaya Kosha, first apprehend the truth. Then the same truth is that infinite Maya Shakti playing the play of the world. You play like Lord Rama. He knows he is the self. But for whatever the required reason, he came as Manusha, he made duplicate Sita. Is he not playing the role very sincerely, yet knows that it is not real? What is real is Aham Brahmas. This is called a Jivan Mukti. Right now what? Rama forgotten he is a Brahma or the self. then he is going on crying as an ordinary human being. If at all it happens, how it looks like, we are all like that. Hmm. So, tanmayaha vignana nishchayaihi, nischaya vignanaihi, pramana swarupaihi, nirvartita atma vignanamayaha. So, Vedartha Vishaya Buddhi Nischayatmika Vijnanam. Vedartha Vishaya Buddhi Nischayatmika. सो वेद अर्थ निश्चय पूर्वक जो है उसको विज्ञानम कहते हैं. तच्च अध्यवसाय लक्षणम एंड दैट विज्ञानम ऑफ वेदार्थ इज अध्यवसाय लक्षण मीन्स व्हाट इट इज डाउटलेस. वेदार्थ विषय निश्चयात्मिक होना और अध्यवसाय मीन्स वेल थॉट ऑफ, वेल डिसाइडेड, विदाउट एनी डाउट. अध्यवसाय का ऑपोजिट होते हैं संशय. तो संशय रहित विचारणा पूर्वक निश्चयात्मक अर्थ ऑफ द वेद मंत्रास वेर एवर इट इज देयर, दैट स्टेट ऑफ अंतकरण इज कॉल्ड विज्ञानमय कोशः. देयरफॉर तत् विज्ञानमयः विज्ञानमय. देयरफॉर निश्चय विज्ञानैः प्रमाण स्वरूपैः निश्चय विज्ञानैः निर्वर्तितः. प्रमाण पूर्वकैः निश्चय विज्ञानैः निर्वर्तितः. आत्मस्वरूपेण भाति. देयरफॉर आत्मा, दैट इज कॉल्ड विज्ञानमय कोशः. सो प्रमाण पूर्वकः हि यज्ञादिः तायते. दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड एग्जॉस्टली. लेट अस से पुट इट इन three ways. What is that? Let our life be not karma, let our life be yajna. Whether we want the worldly achievements or we want the spiritual achievement. The worldly achievements are achieved through the dravyadi yajna. Spiritual unfoldment is achieved through the jnanadi yajna. Jnana. Then both the dravya yajna and jnana yajnas are indicated and given to us in our Vedas and Shastra. Therefore, the Veda and Shastra बढ़कर द्रव्य यज्ञ या ज्ञान यज्ञ के आचरण द्वारा लौकिक परलौकिक फल और पारमार्थिक फल we have to obtain. We have to stick to our life only to that. Anything other than that starts creating the unwanted samsara for us, taking us also away from the truth or reality. That is the meaning of pramana vijnana purvakaihi yajnadi tayate. Purvako hi yajnadi tayate. In that sense means what? Anything done with the authority of the Shastra properly, whether you call it or not, it is yajna. Whether you know it or not, it is yajna. Then pramana always is Shastra pramana, which we are going to see subsequently again. And where there is no Shastra pramana, and that also in our own thorough understanding, is it not? Then that will never be a yajna, and it always will be of binding type only. That's what we try to say there. The nirvana of the wife and husband life also is a yajna. How they have to live, Shastra said. Live like that, no problem at all of any sort. How the relation of parents and children, that also is yajna. How I have to relate to the outer world of Panchamahabhutas or Devatas, they're all yajnas only. They're all mentioned in Shastra. Exactly follow the manual and use the instrument. It will give every type of joy and utility to us. If we don't study manual, we just finger it or do something funny according to our mind. Not only that instrument won't give us the result, but it gets spoiled. Sometimes irreparable, we may have to throw it also. Better study manual. So the Shastra is the manual for conducting our life with all our koshas, for our non-bondage, for our liberation. What is said here is pramana vijnana purakahi yajnadihi tayate. So everything should be yajna, and the yajna should be pramana purvaka. Pramana purvaka is vedartha. That way, everything will be yajna. And in yajna, what happens? All the unwanted becomes swaha, and what comes to us? All the ahanta mahamta becomes swaha. What comes is divine grace. Divine grace is of the nature of realization of the self, moksha. So let us involve in Vyavaharika Yajna, Jnana Yajna. Everything should be Yajna only. यज्ञ का रूप में नहीं देखना, यज्ञ क्या है समझकर ऐसे करना. Wonderful if we can really have that knowledge also of the Vedas, how what it tells us how to live at every level in our Vyavahara, and exactly if we are doing it. It's such a matured life, but for that the convictions are required and all. We are at a very low level of our convictions and faiths in the spiritual scriptural life. More strong we are of our own, whatever the mind's propositions are there, so too the earlier lifestyle, so too what others do. For us, what others do is an authority more than what shastras tell. There we go wrong. If we can rectify ourselves there, really we are growing on spiritual path. Now, having said so, यज्ञादि हेतुत्वं च वक्ष्यते श्लोकेन, आगे यज्ञादि का हेतु प्रमाण पूर्वक विज्ञान रूपी विज्ञानमय कोश only. That will be told विज्ञानम यज्ञान धनुते कर्माणि धनुपदे च विज्ञानम ब्रह्म चेद वेद तस्मात् चेन्न प्रमाद्यति शरीरे पापनोयित्वा सर्वान् कामान् समश्नुते इति. All that will be told to us later. Now each of the limb of this Vijnanamaya Kosha, Purusha, Pakshi, like Annamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya are also Purushas. Annamaya Purusha, Annamaya Pakshi, Pancha limbs. Pranamaya Purusha, Pranamaya Pakshi, 5 limbs. Manomaya Purusha, Manomaya Pakshi, 5 limbs. Now also Vijnanamaya Purusha. Remember that. I am now Vijnanamaya Purusha because this Vijnanamaya is the Atma of the Manomaya. I thought earlier I was the Manomaya, but now Mano itself is not independent. It is permeated by the Vijnanamaya inside. Vijnanamaya is the Atma Mana. Therefore, I am the Vijnanamaya Kosha. That type of lifting our attention from earlier 3 koshas before lifting our identity with the Parabrahma as a sadhana step. Now we are at what level? Accepting Vijnanamaya as Atma. But coming to the Vijnanamaya as Atma, we have to, with all logics practices, should reject our Atma Tadatmya with the Anna Prana Mana. Let them be there, let them be used. है लेकिन आत्म तादात्म्य नहीं है. Lord has given out of his Maya these upadhis for us to function in this world made by him and sent by him. Otherwise, other thing is, these are the instruments for our spiritual sadhana to whatever extent required. And each of the upadhis of Anna Prana Mana will help to in the spiritual sadhana only to some extent, and maximum their help is to push us to Vijnanamaya level. After that, उनका काम हो गया. अब एक आध्यात्मिक साधक अन्नमय कोश से लोक का सेवा करके, प्राणमय कोश से धर्म का निर्वहन करके, मनोमय कोश से सबका प्रेम करके, अब उसका उन तीनों कोशों का काम खत्म. He will come to Vijnanamaya Kosha and use it for the Shastra Jnana, that also mainly the Vedanta Jnana. This is how we have to clearly understand, live our life beyond these 3 koshas. So, only in understanding and rejecting of these 3 koshas as anatma, that we specifically clearly come to understanding that Vijnanamaya Kosha is me now. Again, this is also not final, but in the process of evolution from the grosser, lower koshas to the higher, we have come up to this, what I say, signpost, to this Majri, this station, let us say. So, this Vijnanamaya Purusha, Vijnanamaya Pakshi also has 5 limbs. Tasya Shraddhaiva Shiraha, Rutam Dakshina Pakshaha, Satyamuttaraha Vakshaha, Yoga Atma, Mahapucham Pratishtha. Okay, this is how the Vijnanamaya. Now, here one thing. Vijnanamaya Kosha is yours or anybody else or me. Or even other koshas also are not talking of an individual. It can be of every individual. So too, Vijnanamaya Kosha, not only you and me at the individual level, even it at the total level also, we have to consider and discuss. The same way the Pancha Vijnanamaya Koshas, Pancha limbs are there, even for the Samashti also. तो व्यष्टि समष्टि का एक ही तरीका होता है. तो डोंट वरी व्यष्टि और समष्टि, in both cases it is like that one. Now let us talk for the व्यष्टि standpoint. What is each one? Now Shraddha is Shiraha. Shira is Ati Mukhya Anga of the Sharira. Mukhya Anga is Sharira. Supporting Anga is the Atma. Other things support both of them. Put together is the entire body politic, helping us in our survival by giving us an abode to stay as well as do the work through them. So here, when the Shraddha is said as head, head being an important thing, the Shraddha should be important. Like in the Manomaya, Tasya Yajureva Shiraha Vai Pradhanyat, Vai Pradhanyat, because it is without any chandas, etc. Therefore, it is more used than the other Vedas. And also in the Yajurveda only, Swaha Swaha mantras are there, which really make the yajnas happen practically. Or Vachakni Viva. Vachaknavi means what? Because Veda told. है. Only Veda told that it is mana is the मन का मनोमय कोश का शिरो भाग यजुर्वेद है, तो वेद कहाँ मान लो. और दैट पर्टिकुलर यज्ञ कहता है ना, उसमें इस यजुर्वेद मंत्र ज्यादा यूज किए जाते हैं. स्वाहा आदि में यजुर्वेद ज्यादा यूज किए जाते हैं. यजुर्वेद मंत्र सर प्रोजाडा, they are more used. For all this reason, it has become pradhana. Therefore, it is made as the head. Here also, for the Vijnanamaya Kosha, head is Shraddha. Why is it so that head should be Shraddha? Shraddha is the head, a debatable point, a thought thinkable, a very deeply contemplatable discussion it is. है ना? So, Shraddha, see, Satdhate iti Shraddha, first of all. That which takes us near to Sat, that type of positive faith is called as Shraddha. One point. Second is what? Everywhere Shraddha is required, without which we can't move. And third point is what? Without Shraddha, nobody can be alive. Fourth word, Shraddha is there, but in what we have the Shraddha? That is the biggest thing. Like in Bhagavad Gita, 17th chapter, Bhagavan Spashta Rup se says, कि after Arjuna asked the question and all, कि सत्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत श्रद्धामयो यं पुरुषः यो यत् श्रद्धः स एव सः. And then after Arjuna's question, he says, त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा सात्विकी राशि चैव तामसी च इति तां शृणु. A human personality made out of only Shraddha. But where he has got the Shraddha, that determines whether he is a samsari or the sadhaka. So, in the world, generally people say, we don't have Shraddha. We have to ask a question. On what strength we don't have Shraddha? Is it not? Some strength he has got on which he is saying Shraddha. To that he has got a Shraddha. Like somebody says, I don't believe in God. So I don't have Shraddha in God. So you have Shraddha in your belief, no? That you don't believe God, you don't believe Shastras. तो उसके ऊपर तो तुमको श्रद्धा है. तुम्हारे खुद के नास्तिकता के ऊपर तो श्रद्धा है. Is it not? Everyone, without Shraddha, a movement we cannot move ahead. The another expression of Shraddha is what? The strength at the level of ignorance is Shraddha only. And without Shraddha, as we saw, we can't put even a step ahead in any of the examples, as we have earlier mentioned in our different classes. Even we cannot sleep at night if there is no Shraddha, faith, belief that next day morning we are going to get up. ये संशय हो गया मानो आज रात को सोओगे ना, पता नहीं कल जागृत होगे कि नहीं. You can never sleep. Like Kamsa. Next day Krishna will come and kill me. He was always in that fear. Therefore that night he could never sleep. From the morning onwards, it is only the Shraddha that you are putting the paste only on the brush, not any poison. It is Shraddha only with which From that moment onwards, every activity we are doing. I know you come to class with the Shraddha, that something will be told. I also talk to you with the Shraddha that you will listen. Everywhere it is a Shraddha. Every kadam we put only with Shraddha. Every person we meet with Shraddha. Every word we utter is with Shraddha. Every action we have is with Shraddha. Is it not? Where is the Shraddha is not there? Hmm? Again, I told you, if I tell you that ये आगे के कदम में नीचे गड्ढा है शायद the moment the doubt is created, I won't put my feet. Is it not? श्रद्धा की बात हर जगह पे. We can't drive our vehicle if there is a doubt that the other fellow coming from other side is going to dash us. You know, we can't have food ours if the doubt is there in the giver of that food. How many hotels we go and eat? All out of Shraddha and that then cash. Anyway, बेवकूफ लोग नहीं पूछते हैं. Therefore, anyway they do it. With Shraddha we eat. The consequence is different. Doing is with Shraddha. That's what we are saying. That is the whole discussion. Shraddha, as much important, sacred, and inevitability is, so much important is where it is placed. All of ours is a misplaced Shraddha. We have Shraddha in the world that it gives Sukha. Therefore, we are pursuing the world continuously. Therefore, in Viveka Chodamani, very clearly we are given the definition of Shraddha ultimate. After understanding it, we need not worry anything about Shraddha. What is that? Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhya Avadharana. Sa Shraddha. शास्त्र वाक्य एंड शास्त्र को एक्सप्लेन गुरु ने किया ना, गुरु का वाक्य का सत्य बुद्धि से अवधारणा करना. Again, Shastra is Vedas only. And in the Veda only, both for our Laukika Jivana, Paramarthika Jivana, all the means, etc. are told to us. And Guru explains to us that, and we have to have Shraddha in it. And we have to believe it and do it, then we have Shraddha. It's so clear, so systematic, so direct. Lord Jagat created, and Shastra is given, and we are sent as Jiva, and Guru is sent to us. Guru explains Shastra to us, understanding that in the given resources, in the given responsibility, we live the life with Shraddha, there the results are ours. As simple as that, but we only complicate. तो शास्त्रस्य गुरुवाक्यस्य सत्य बुद्ध्या अवधारणा सा श्रद्धा है ना. श्रद्धावान लभते ज्ञानम संशयात्मा विनश्यति. Every time the lack of efforts is caused by lack of Shraddha. And wherever the vigorous efforts we are putting, it is only because of our Shraddha in it. Shraddha at a very grossest sense is called as a liking. The two types of liking. The inner liking is because of the Janma Janmantara samskaras. That can be positive also, negative also. That is what is our 21st Sutra of Patanjali Yoga Darshanam Samadhipada. But this is one Shraddha, Janma Janmantara samskara, good or bad, we get Shraddha. That's why some people by birth Shraddhalu to go to temples, etc. Some by birth Shraddhalu to go into only clubs and sports and enjoyment. You know, that's what we saw. Bhava Pratyaha Videya Prakriyanam. We need not be Videya Prakriti, but we have our own Vasana Samskara. Accordingly, our Shraddha is there. You know, somebody naturally to arts, to sciences. Why do they go? Because Janma Janmantara Arjita Shraddha that is there inside. Another is what Shraddha, we listen to the people around. You know, there are two things, be attentive. With Shraddha we listen, depending on that listening information, again we develop Shraddha. That is what is here explained to us in a Bhashyam, which we are going to study in a minute's time. And with Shraddha you talk to a friend and he tells something, and on that the Shraddha is created and we act according to it. This is how our Shraddha towards various things is developed. So we have Shraddha. But is that authentic or not? That is important. है कि नहीं? लाइक मैं अपने दोस्तों को सुनता हूँ, बट वो समझदार है कि बेवकूफ़ है. व्हाट इज हिज लाइफ, व्हाट इज ही स्पिरिचुअल और नॉन स्पिरिचुअल, व्हाट इज हिज इंटेंशन. अरे सब नहीं सोचोगे, just blindly you believe, then he will tell with all power and force and the wrong thing. Like the terrorists are taught by their bosses, it's such a power and force कि तुमको भगवान के लिए सबको मारना चाहिए. अरे तू चिल्ला रहा है तो देखो you listen to him. Nonsense. दिमाग लगाओ. If you think that way killing, then if every religion says मारो, 2 घंटे में पूरा दुनिया खत्म हो जाएगा. भगवान बेवकूफ है क्या कि मारने के लिए जीवन देते हैं? पूर्ण जीवन जीने के लिए भगवान जीवन देते हैं ना. And so common sense it is. Your life is only two purposes: serve the world in front of you, see the Lord inside you. इतना कॉमन सेंस भी नहीं उनको, और उनके बातें सुनते श्रद्धा से. therefore the fanatic terrorism in the world. We also terrorize others and our own life because of our fanatic श्रद्धा in wrong sources. ध्यान से समझ रहे हैं इन बातों को. Okay, so now with Bhashya, when we see, a very thorough important thought comes to us. Important. Let us see that what it says, as we just now said, Nischaya Vijnanavataha hi kartavyeshu artheshu purvam shraddha utpadyate. Okay. Nischaya Vijnanavataha hi kartavyeshu artheshu purvam shraddha utpadyate. See the 3 words. I am explaining Bhashya here. Be careful about it. Nischaya Vijnanavataha. The one whose Vijnanamaya kosha is Nischaya. Okay? The one whose Vijnanamaya kosha is Nischaya Purvaka. In its Vijnana. Okay? Vijnanamaya kosha has got knowledge undoubted thoroughly. Nischaya Vijnana hai. For that person only, Kartavyeshu Artheshu. You want some prayojana? For that prayojana, these are the works to be done. Therefore, they are called as kartavya. Toward that kartavya, purvam means before actually doing them, shraddha utpadyate. This shraddha is created. As I said just now, with shraddha we approach first. After approaching, then we get the clear picture or knowledge. After the knowledge is gained, be attentive. Before the practical thing of that knowledge is done, in between thing which pushes us to do that practical thing after the knowledge is called as Shraddha. Therefore, one Shraddha is at the level of ignorance generally. Second Shraddha is what? At the Vijnanamaya kosha level. This is the crucial most point. What so far we were thinking is an Ajnani will have a Shraddha. But now the total definition is changed. Only a Vijnanamaya Purusha will have Shraddha. Therefore, a person doesn't have proper Shraddha in right place means he is an Ajnani only. So too is as a Shraddha in wrong place, that time also is an Ajnani. So Vijnani ko Shraddha utpanna hota hai. Earlier explanations are what? I don't know, so I have faith, I go. That is a faith blind because I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it boomerangs. But this is Shraddha after the Nischaya Vijnana. This is Shraddha after Nischaya Vijnana. But the action is not done, the result is not gained. But at the Buddhi level, through the logic, through the authority, through the explanation of the Guru, the Vijnana got Utpanna. Okay? That born Vijnana, from that only Shraddha comes, from the Shraddha only the action is done. It can be anybody authority. In the Shastra, the authority is Shastra, and also the Guru. It can be anybody. है कि नहीं कि your parents told you to go to the shop and for these things to bring up. So when they told all those things, buddhi mein nischay vignan hua कि नहीं? After that only the Shraddha is born. Be attentive. With that Shraddha only the kartavyeshu artheshu, we do the involvement. So nischaya vijnana in the kartavyeshu artha Shraddha, with that Shraddha, those kartavya karma are conducted, are done. So this is what is Vijnanamaya Koshaka. SHRI is a Shraddha. And that is why he says next line, may sa, that Shraddha sarva kartavyanam prathamyatu shiraha iva shirah. Anything when we do it as kartavya buddhi. And what is that which is giving the kartavya buddhi in that karma? Whether he is a great saintly person doing the saintly activities, a sinner doing sinful activities, a terrorist doing terrorizing activities, a servant of the world serving the service activities. Everybody is doing karma. Na? Behind that karma doing, there is a kartavyata buddhi. तभी करते हैं बंदा. अच्छा काम हो बुरा काम हो, कर्तव्य मानवा नहीं है तो करता नहीं. Again, that kartavyata can be out of his wisdom or out of some compulsion, etc. That is later on. But karma is not done without kartavyata buddhi. पहले समझो इस बात को. Karma cannot be done without the kartavyata buddhi. It can be जबरदस्ती हो, कुछ भी हो, कर्तव्य है करके. Like in that bonded labor time, the bound laborers were doing the karma given by those bosses out of kartavya buddhi, of course out of fear. If doesn't done, those stupid kings, etc., will snatch away all our property, trouble our own family members. That was. But then, before karma done, kartavyata buddhi. The point is what generates the kartavya buddhi is called shraddha. And what generates the Shraddha is what? Nishaya Vijnana Purvaka. This is what the Lord has given us the equipments. That is how we have to live. निश्चय विज्ञान से उत्पन्न हुआ, श्रद्धा से उत्पन्न हुआ, कर्तव्यता बुद्धि से हमें कर्म करना है. देन फल जरूर मिलेगा. सो सर्वकर्माणाम सर्वकर्तव्यानाम प्राथम्यात श्रद्धा शिरा इव शिरः. So what it therefore means ki in all the good things we are not involving in them because there is no kartavya buddhi. Kartavya buddhi hai to hum kar hi lete hain. Why the kartavya buddhi is not there? Because in that shraddha is not born. And simple thing, why the shraddha is not born? Because nischaya vijnana nahi hai. Then is he not doing anything else? No, he is doing something else. And whatever he is doing that, he is doing with a kartavya buddhi. And that kartavya buddhi came in him, again is because same reason called Shraddha. But what Shraddha came here? The Nischaya Vijnana. But that Nischaya Vijnana is of wrong authority. That will be our second point. Second limbu we will see. But पहले तो इतना समझ ले में निश्चय विज्ञानवत ही कर्तव्यादि कर्मसु श्रद्धा उपजायते उत्पद्यते. निश्चय विज्ञानवत ही कर्तव्येषु अर्थेषु पूर्वम श्रद्धा उत्पद्यते. It's all process is saying. So karma, before the karma, kartavya buddhi, before the kartavya buddhi shraddha, before shraddha is nischaya vijnana. Another question will follow. Is this nischaya vijnana is authentic or not? Which is authority? We will see in the second point. Like I gave the example terrorist. उसको उनके टेररिस्ट ट्रेनिंग देने वाले बॉस इज अथॉरिटी. So whatever the boss says about that, he has got nischaya vijnana. Then in him the shraddha is born. Then he takes that karma told by him as with kartavya buddhi. Then he does. In that even he will blast himself also. Kill himself to kill others. And what is the nischaya vijnanata? That terrorist fellow tells him. है ना कि ऐसा हो भगवान के नाम पे मरने से भगवान तक पहुंच जाएंगे इत्यादि, या मरने से ज्यादा. So he has become निश्चय विज्ञानवान in विज्ञानमय कोशा. Is that vijnana correct or not? That we are not discussing. But there is a nischaya vijnana in that. And for him the authority is what? That fellow said, whoever is considered to be his boss. In any office also, the boss gives this work to do for the sake of the whole company. So that Nischaya Vijnana enters in that subordinate. Then he develops Shraddha in that particular karma. That Shraddha makes him do that work with Kartavya Buddhi. So, Nishchaya Vijnana of the Vijnanamaya Kosha, giving birth to Shraddha, giving birth to Kartavya Buddhi, giving or becoming cause for the karma to be done, leading to the result. Therefore, everyone in the life, the main sentence was anything they are doing because of the Shraddha. That Shraddha is because of Nishchaya Vijnana ki karna hi hai. It may be good thing or bad thing. Like a person committing suicide. Let us take the extreme example. For him, doing suicide is an action. But wanting to do that suicide is called a kartavya. But there is a faith in wanting to do that suicide kartavya because Shraddha. Before that, there is a Nishchaya Vijnanamaya, that I have no purpose in living. There is nothing achievable. He is Nishchaya in his Vijnana. कि मैं कैसे क्यों किस लिए जीऊं कुछ है उसके अंदर whether it's right or not it can be counseled it can be brought out of that is a different discussion. Somebody doing the atmahatya as a kartavya, how much shraddha he has got, whereas entire universe or world wants to live long for hundreds of years, even though not possible, this fellow is ending his life. How much he must have had that kartavya buddhi in that karma of committing suicide, जानबूझकर उस गले पे कुछ डालना, रस्सी पंखे पे लटकना, टेकिंग द पॉइजन और स्टैंडिंग अंडर द ट्रेन, jumping for the buildings. Don't note down all these points. How much shraddha he must have to do that karma of death as kartavya. For that, how much निश्चय विज्ञान has got कि मैं जी नहीं सकता. Another extreme, a person in a very cold climate climbing the mountain, high altitude mountain. उसके बेस पे भी वहाँ रुकना नहीं होता इन दैट द ऑक्सीजन डेफिशिएंसी तो पैल्पिटेशन होता है बट इफ फेलो हैज डन द कर्मा ऑफ क्लाइंबिंग हाउ मच कर्तव्य बुद्धि वाज देयर इन हिम फॉर दैट हाउ मच श्रद्धा वाज देयर इन हिम फॉर दैट हाउ मच निश्चय विज्ञान वेदर विज्ञान इज राइट और नॉट डिफरेंट निश्चय विज्ञान that he has done that. All sciences is growing because of निश्चय विज्ञान से उत्पन्न श्रद्धा से एक्सपेरिमेंट रूपी कर्म को, इन्वेस्टिगेशन रूपी कर्म को, रिसर्च रूपी कर्म को कर्तव्य रूप से दे आर डूइंग. That is why the science is revealing them all the secrets. Therefore, here central point is what? The Vijnanamaya Koshas Vijnana. And the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manamaya Koshas karma. Between these two, what is there? Shraddha. Where is the Shraddha? Of the Vijnanamaya Kosha only. Is it important? Oh, very important, because without Shraddha, the Kartavya Buddhi will not come. He will not do the karma perfectly. श्रद्धा नहीं इसलिए हम कर्तव्य भाव से नहीं करते, इसलिए आधा करके छोड़ देते. And in that it is not done only. Be attentive here. A karma which is done without Shraddha is not done. That is why in the 17th chapter, last sloka Bhagavan says, Ashraddhaya hutam, Ashraddhaya dattam, Ashraddhaya taptam, Ashraddhaya krutam chayatu. Hutan dattam krutam, Ashraddhaya hutan dattam, tapas taptam krutam chayatu. Asadichuti uchate partha. It is as good as not done only. Ashraddhaya hutam, a ahuti is swaha swaha yajna done. Without the Shraddha is equal to not doing. Uttam. Then Dattam. The charities, dana that are given without Shraddha is not a dana only. It is as good as not done. Tapas taptam. Any tapasyas that are done without Shraddha is not done only. Finally, he says, Krutam Chayat. Anything you do without Shraddha is as good as not doing. Though it won't give that result at all. Mechanically हमने किया है. Therefore, हर कर्म के पीछे कर्तव्य बुद्धि होता है. हर कर्तव्य बुद्धि के पीछे श्रद्धा होता है. श्रद्धा इज निश्चय विज्ञान पूर्वक. उस श्रद्धा से पहले निश्चय विज्ञान पूर्वक होता है. एंड वेयर इज निश्चय विज्ञानता? इट इज विज्ञानमय कोश. व्हाट इज दैट निश्चय विज्ञान? is made into Kartavya Karma in between Shraddha. Therefore, without Shraddha, is the Nishchay Vijnana of any use? No. Without Shraddha, is there any Kartavyata in the karma? No. Therefore, what is very important in a human being's life, whether live a spiritual life, worldly life, in the world also, noble life or criminal life, it is Shraddha only. यो ये श्रद्धा सही है सहा, इस एक बात को आप सुन लिया ना, बाकी आपको पकड़ में आता है. Every banda, if he's becoming saint or if he becomes sinner, he's become professional, he's a politician, and a cunning fellow, a crooked fellow, or a loving fellow, कोई भी कुछ भी बन रहा है, उसको उसमें श्रद्धा है इसलिए. Or before the Shraddha, some understanding he has got. That understanding called निश्चय विज्ञान. Whether it is right or authenticated, उसको हम नहीं बात कर रहे हैं. वो तो अगले पॉइंट में आएगा. फिलहाल तो वी आर ओनली ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड निश्चय विज्ञान पूर्वता श्रद्धा कर्तव्यता बुद्धि इन द कर्म विद दैट कर्तव्य बुद्धि डूइंग द कर्म एंड रीपिंग द रिजल्ट. लाइक अ थीफ, निश्चय विज्ञान है कि आई हैव टू गेट द मनी बाय स्टीलिंग देयर. फ्रॉम दैट श्रद्धा कम्स. देन दे द कर्तव्यता बुद्धि की कुछ भी, देन ही डज द कर्म. He gives the result, rewards. What result he thought that he will get, that the money. But what result he due to get, that also he'll get, that he'll be caught and punished and all. इधर भी बच गया तो उधर तो नहीं बचेगा. That result given is by the totality, the obvious result. But what he expects, that also he gets. So निश्चय विज्ञान पूर्वक ही श्रद्धा कर्तव्य कर्मसु अर्थेषु पूर्वं श्रद्धा उत्पद्यते. Therefore, sa, that Shraddha, sarva kartavyanam pratamyat. Every karma, when it is done with kartavya buddhi, the karana for it is because of the Shraddha. Therefore, the Shraddha is given the position of the Shira. Clear? And who is talked here about? The Vijnanamaya Kosha. Who is the Vijnanamaya Kosha Purusha? Karta Bhokta. तो मैं नामक विज्ञानमय पुरुष जो करता भोगता हूँ, all my bhoga depends on kalpa phala, all my karma phala depends on the karma, all the karma I do with kartavya buddhi, and the kartavya buddhi is generated because Shraddha, Shraddha is because of Nishchay Vijnana. Nishchay Vijnana is me, the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Either Nishchay Vijnana, correct or not, authenticate or not, is going to be beneficial or not, that is different. Understood, no? Two things. What is the source of Shraddha? Authentic or not? On what the Shraddha? Good or not? That is different things. But the Shraddha is the one which gives Kartavya Buddhi, makes us do the karma. That's why if you create that Shraddha in your children about their own studies, then they will have the Kartavya Buddhi in the karma of the study. श्रद्धा कैसे क्रिएट करना है? निश्चय विज्ञान. By explaining to them only through study that they can excel in their results and higher educations and great jobs etc. उसको उसमें श्रद्धा ही नहीं उत्पन्न आप कर पा रहे हैं, उसको भी नहीं आया, then that fellow throughout life only looks at parents and the wealth earned by them and I will enjoy that only. उसका दिमाग उसी तरफ जाता है, खुद अपने तरह से पढ़कर बड़ा होकर नौकरी करके खुद कमाना, ऐसा कर्तव्य बुद्धि उसके अंदर नहीं आता. आप कुछ भी करो ऐसे रहता. इन मेनी फैमिली पीपल डोंट नो that this fellow got Shraddha in the ancestral property to enjoy that. Therefore, he doesn't want to take a risk of doing any jobs. And the parents run behind him. These are other fellows. They have so much of filthy rich. Yet, उनको श्रद्धा है मुझे अपने पाँव पे खड़े होना. With all the riches, they still study, get their job, they work also. उसको उसमें था श्रद्धा, इसको इसमें था. उसको ऐसा प्रज्ञान विज्ञान था, इसको ऐसा विज्ञान है. निश्चय वाला. Okay, and this Nishchay Vijnanata can be altered by giving the source or the changing the source. When you go to the different source, Nishchay Vijnan में बदलकर दूसरा विज्ञान का निश्चयता होता है. Okay. Now, when we talk about the second and third limb, the total topic becomes very clear for us. Okay. Here, Bhagavan Shankara is so wise, intelligent. He is not explaining it at all, but allowing or telling us to for ourselves to think and understand, because it was already told earlier. What is that? After seeing why the Shira is the Shraddha, now the other two limbs is talking. What is the main mantra? Tasya Shraddhaiva Shiraha. Why the Shraddha is Shiro? Because the Vijnanamaya Kosha, Jiva is a Karta. For he is a Karta, therefore he does a Karma. Karma is done by Kartavya Buddhi. Kartavya Buddhi generated only when there is a Shraddha. Without Shraddha, Kartavya Buddhi, Karma will not come. Therefore Shraddha is made as Shira for the Vijnanamaya Purusha. But the Shraddha is by the Nischay Vijnana. Now comes the next point, where the Nischay Vijnana should be depending upon. That is the second limb. And what is the second limb? Rutam Dakshina Pakshaha. Is it not? The Rutam is Satyam Dakshina Paksha. What is Uttara Paksha? Satyam. But what is Rutam Satyam? Bhagwan Shankara कहते हैं Ruta Satye Yatha Vyakhyate Eva. There is no new definition to be given for the Ruta Satya. I will not give you. What is already given alone is applied here. You refer what it is. I am not going to waste your time or my time. You study it. Then what is the Rutam? Is it not time for us to just browse it when we chanted Satyam, that Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha? In that we saw the meaning of Rutam. We'll spend a minute for that. Remaining we see. See, Rutam in your Shanti mantra toward the end, the Bhashya for the Rutam is given. Now we have done with the Shraddha and its definitions from all Shastras, and here it is Nischay Purvaka Vijnanam leading to Shraddha, leading to Kartavya Buddhi, leading to Karma, leading to Karma Phala. That is what we spoke. Shraddha being prominent, it is given Shirasthana. Now the Uttara Paksha, Dakshina Paksha is what? Rutam. Clear? The second limb, the right limb, right wing of this Vijnanamaya Pakshi, Vijnanamaya Purusha Pakshi. Rutam. What is Rutam? Very important. Million times you have to remember. What is that? Yatha Shastram, Yatha Kartavyam, Buddhau Su Parinishchitam Artham Rutam. Therefore, as we just now saw, Shraddha depends on Vijnanam, but Vijnana should depend on what? Vijnana should depend on Yatha Shastram, on the Shastra only. So, Yatha Shastram, as said in the Shastra, and second is what? Yatha Kartavyam. The two things. Shastra understanding one thing and keep feeling the understanding as a kartavya in our heart. Second thing, Buddha Suparinishchitam Artham. That is called as Shraddha. Whatever is said in Shastra is understood and accepted as kartavya. What is said in Shastra is understood and that is taken as kartavya. And in that Suparinishchitam, very firmly it is decided, the kartavyata buddhi of what is said in the Shastra is not at all disturbed or deferred. Okay, that state is called as Rutam. That Rutam is called as Uttar Dakshinaha Pakshaha. Now, दोनों को सब मिलाओ अब दी श्रद्धैव शिरः रुतम दक्षिण पक्षः दोनों को मिलाने से क्या होगा Shraddha is the head without which kartavya buddhi will not come, without which karma cannot be done. Shraddha depends on the Vijnana Purvakam. And Vijnana ka authority kya hai? Yes, Rutam. Rutam means Yatha Shastram, Yatha Kartavyam, Buddhav. That's why Buddhav Supanishitam. आगे विज्ञान में कुछ आएगा भगवान को पता है इसलिए at that time only he has commented what is the meaning of Rutam. He knows the mantra will come later on. वो आगे मंत्र में भी रुतम शब्द आएगा और उसको भी फिट होने का एक्सप्लेनेशन मुझे रुत शब्द का देना है रुतम का. So that's how he gave here. So what is Dakshina Paksha for the Vijnanamaya Kosha Purusha? Rather what should be? Yatha Shastram, Yatha Vyakyatam, Buddha Supanishtam Artham. That is definition of Rutam. That Rutam is the right Paksha. Therefore, joining together, we have to live life with karma. Karma should be with kartavya buddhi. Kartaveta buddhi should be born of Shraddha, and Shraddha should be with the Vijnanam. The Vijnana should have the authority of only the Vedanta Artha, Veda Artha. Whether it is your Laukika Phala, whether it is your Paramarthika Phala. They should go together. Okay. Now the third limb we say, and the summary of all of that with the other two limbs we'll study tomorrow. The third paksha kya hai? Second paksha, the third limb. श्रद्धा शिरा हो गया, ऋतम दक्षिण पक्ष हो गया. What is उत्तर पक्ष देना? सत्यम उत्तर पक्ष. What is satyam? In this mantra, Bhagavan did not comment. In that Chaturtha Anuvaka Brahmananda, but he already commented in the Shanno Mitra mantra. Then he said, refer that. So we are referring now. What is that Satyam, which is Uttara Paksha for this Vijnanamaya Pakshi? He says, Satyam iti saha eva vak kayabhyam sampadyamanaha. Whatever the Rutam is gained from the Shastra, which is Dakshina Paksha, that alone with the speech, mouth, with the body, when the same thing is accomplished as an action, that becomes Satya. So sa eva Satyam iti sa eva vakkayabhyam sambadhimanam. That's why there Rutam vadishyami, Satyam vadishyami. The very powerful words came. So I will talk Rutam only, I will talk Satyam only. Here talking Satyam is whatever is Rutam convinced, that alone Vak Kaya Bhyam Sampadhyamanaha achieved. Now put together all these three. Satyam means what? Working with the body and speech. And what work we have to do with body and speech? Only what? With Shraddha. And what is the Shraddha born out of? The Rutam, that is the Shastrokta Jnanam. Therefore, both ways. First, with the head of the Shraddha, go to Shastra Jnanam. Shastra Jnanam gained, then again go back to Shraddha of the head. Now the authentic Shraddha. Earlier is the Shraddha to gain the authority. With the desire to gain authority, the Shraddha has gone to or taken us to Shastra. After studying Shastra, you got the meaning, you got the, yeah, on that now we have to have Shraddha. And how that Shraddha expressed? By Satyam, by working exactly as it is convinced with our speech and mind. In this way, who lives, who that person is fully, rightly, correctly utilizing his Vijnanamaya Kosha. Be attentive. Such person, therefore, if that Shastra is Vedanta, he will excel in the Vedantic truth recognition, realization, and liberation. Because he is doing the karma is Kartavya Bhava, for that he has got the Shraddha, and Shraddha is from the authentic source of Veda Jnana. Same, if the goal is not the Paramatma, if the goal is something else, for that also he is doing it Kartavya Buddhi. For that also he has got a Shraddha, and the Shraddha is backed by the Jnanam, and the Jnanam again is Vedic authority. That person also will get this Loka and other Loka Phala, which are his goals. So this is how the Vijnanamaya Kosha's importance in our life to achieve the outer successes also, and also to have the spiritual unfoldment. To be precise, it should have the authority of Veda Jnanam, Veda Artha Jnanam. So Vedas revealed to the mana, Veda Artha is gained by the Buddhi or Vijnanamaya Kosha. That Jnana leads to Shraddha. With that Shraddha, the Kartavya is done. Karma is taken as Kartavya and it is performed, then the result comes. Now, two more limbs are there. Very important, connected to these three. Yoga Atma Mahapucham Pratishta. These two also, when we study, a total picture of the Vijnanamaya Kosha, how it has to be maintained and conducted as told by the Lord through the Vedas or the Shastras or Upanishads, we come to know. Exactly live with the Vijnanamaya Kosha in this way. That will not be a bondage. That will help us to push us into the next Anandamaya Kosha, or even bypassing that directly for the Brahma Tattva Vicharana and knowing it. All those things we will study tomorrow. Om, 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 Om. Om, 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 Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarshibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namaha Om Shri Vedavyasa Vaishampari Agnivalkya Adi Shankaradi Brahma Vidyacharye Namaha Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha Sarvesham Devatanam Kripaya Shastrokta Artavagahana Sadhana Siddhi Prapti Prastu Sarvesham Sadhakanam. May all the Taittiriya Upanishad Gurus bless us to understand each of the kosha, transcend them, to go beyond them, to see our own Swarupa. Thanks.